Welcome back. Thank you for joining us on this special day, Christmas Day. Happy Christmas, everyone. I'm here with Jonathan.
Merry Christmas.
We've had, I'll just come out and say it, Jonathan. We've had an absolute disaster. Two of my home cities were taken, Antalya and Adana. It was New Yugoslavia. God knows how they did it. But they got past my boats that I had in place, and they landed 3 main battle tanks and 2 troops in each city, and it's taken all day. We've only just taken back Antalya. It's taken all day to take them down with all our strike fighters, and Tim sent a stack. But we do have a problem, Houston. And Jonathan, if you have a look at Adana and look at the component production and compare it to Antalya, it looks like I've lost the big bonus that I would normally have. So Antalya's got 818 production, and looks like Adana's gone down to like a normal outlying city. But we'll have to see that if that increases with the morale increase. But because Tim took that city, it's gone a bit wrong. But because I took this city back, it's reset right. So that's possibly a fault with the game, and we'll feed that back to the developers as soon as possible. But it does look like... I know
why it is.
Go on.
It's because I was over there hitting it with my Corvette. Now, whenever you shell a city with a boat, then you tend to get a lot of civilian casualties. Presumably the boats aren't too accurate.
Yeah.
So that actually reduced the morale down to about 11% at one point. And that's probably... your output's a reflection of that. I'd wait until midnight and see what happens to it. It should shoot up to about 50-60%. So I think you should at least see that number double or even triple.
Okay, cool. Yeah, fingers crossed then, because the other city is a bit higher on morale by 4%. It's a tricky one, isn't it, Jonathan? Because even though I've been hitting my home cities, I still don't know if I'd defend them. And, you've got no defence on yours, except the capital, obviously. And Tim's got 0 defence, nothing even on the capital itself. But he's blocked off the canal, but he can still be accessed by land and from the sea. So it's a tricky one. What do we need to learn from this?
I think it was just a question of having boats in the right place. I didn't quite clock that there were some boats missing, but he was obviously just able to waltz by all of our defences. Yeah. I think for the most part, you were more focused on Poland and the Ukraine invading Samsun in the north. Am I right?
Yeah. Nothing went north, and nothing could go north. I think I had it fairly well protected. I mean, or at least something. But yeah, there was absolutely no defence whatsoever on these 2 bottom cities. Part of me wonders if they're watching, because that's pretty much the only place they could have hit. I had my ships in place somewhere around here, so they couldn't get through to Izmir, and I think I even had a ship up here, so they couldn't get Istanbul. Could have had a go at Samsung.
Well, but if you have a look at where our cities are, they're all on the west coast. So whereas Ukraine may have been pushing straight from Odessa south, and perhaps Poland through their cities, it does make sense for him to take the quickest route from his west coast round all the way down to your underbelly. So I think what we need to do to deal with this is still have a few boats up on the north and Samsung, but as soon as we can take over that land and kind of hold it, we just need to focus on the Mediterranean. And this could be land just west of, the sea just west of Heraklion, or between Palermo and the tip of Algeria in Italy. Yeah. And eventually we'd want to get some boats in a couple of places just outside Malaga. If we could do that, we could essentially lock off the whole Mediterranean, and that would defend my cities and your cities. And the job of the Suez Canal would still be in 2 different places, but it would make our job a lot easier if we could get all the way out there.
Yeah, definitely. I'll just point out, because we're on a short episode today, I've got a sighting of a Ukraine... an endangered species of the Ukraine motorised infantry. I've been in touch with Poland, and I said I'll do a ceasefire with him while he defends himself against Norway, and has agreed. because I'm trying to, psychologically push him towards that way. And he did lose an awful lot of troops against me, and he might not know why or how that happened. So it might have spooked him, and he's gone with that. But he did actually say he's been cracking into new Yugoslavia and Ukraine. And Ukraine are not in their coalition anymore, so it's just Poland and France versus Norway and Ireland. And we can see Norway's troops in their capital. The intel's come through. They've got a level 4 strike fighter. They've got tank destroyer, and that's level 2. And they've got level 3 motorised infantry. And they've got a naval officer and a level 2 frigate. So they're playing a smart game there. Very, very smart. And, excuse me, they'd certainly probably come off quite well against Poland. I don't know why they're not attacking. They're certainly taking this Ukrainian land. And I've just cracked through Yugoslavia. It's fine. So, yeah, I've just taken these cities and going up and taking this city here. If I can click on it. Novi Sad, which has gone over to the Chosen. But there's actually a river running through it that sort of separates it from the north. So, Budapest, Novi Sad. Well, it's a tactical point, but then equally the western flank of New Yugoslavia is a bit at risk as well. So I don't know, that Vicenza's gone rogue. It's been taken over by the Chosen. I don't know if it was Poland's before or not. If you notice, Poland is at war with quite a few different people now. They've not got any bunkers on any of their cities, so they may be experiencing, how you get to a point in the game where your morale gets hit all over because you're at war with too many people and you don't have the underground bunkers in place. So that might be what's happening with Poland.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And Norway's at war with quite a few people as well. So if we want to do a morale alliance attack, we can do it on either Poland or Norway anytime. So this is a point to remind you, Jonathan, to start building underground bunkers everywhere, like on every city.
Already have done. Yeah. When I was going against 3 players at once, that was a big consideration. Also to just defend my home cities. The more bunkers you have, the fewer troops you will need to defend your cities. And, ultimately, as it helps your resource production, it just means everything goes a little bit further, gives you that peace of mind. Definitely worth an investment.
Yeah. I'm putting a boat outside each city, certainly in the south. But even, you only get a couple of shots with your boat, and if they survive that and they land, then they could still take the city, but you're quite likely to take them down. So I've got a component shortage. I'm on 86 an hour. I've kept my level 3 naval base, which is fantastic. I think it was upgrading to level 4, so I just need to repair that. And otherwise, I've just lost a couple of level 5 arms industries, which is a painful thing to take, but not the end of the world. I can.
And you have 2 component cities, so if you was to hit any resource, it was probably the best to hit. And I do actually happen to have a bit of a surplus at the minute, which was not what I was expecting. I've really invested in components. So I've been looking to make lots of planes and airborne. And now I'm going to be focusing a bit more on the rocket launchers and things like radars and SAM launchers. So I'll actually need more supplies. So I can trade you components for supplies until you get up and running again.
Great.
And then by the time you get up and running again,
supplies.
I'll probably be making more ships and I'll need components from you. So
cool.
Yeah, we've got it sorted. Really, it's a minor setback, I'd say.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah. Definitely. I've been thinking about focusing on the med. I think. I don't know. I've been hit pretty hard, and if we have a look at my main stack, I did say this would happen. I have taken a bit of a hit going through New Yugoslavia. Equally quite happy that I didn't have to go through 6 main battle tanks and all those troops, because that might have hurt. But I'm at sort of 3/4, 2/3 health on pretty much everything I've got, and I'm cycling stuff back like the SAM launcher, and this is a new tank going into battle. We're just generally holding cities at the moment. I've got my ships back up to help. They were going to go down and help zap the enemy. So quite a lot going on, but I think I'm going to have to go through an administrative phase where I send everyone back to base to heal, because we've got the good hospitals still. And you're doing well in Algeria?
Yeah. I was getting to some of his cities in just enough time because the computer that's running it, he got to the stage where he's starting to build armored fighting vehicles, and that's bad
Ooh.
news for my troops.
Yeah.
They're very strong against that. But I've been sending in 10 troops into each city, and generally I've been coming out with about 6 or 7. So it's been quite tough. So I've had
Wow.
to continuously kind of move more in. With what I've got there, it might just be enough to take these remaining 2 cities. And now I'm redirecting my strikes over there to assist with that. So that should be okay.
Yeah.
And then I've got to decide whether I want to take Morocco next because quite close by, or if I want to move down to Niger and get a bit closer to Cameroon. I'm not quite sure yet.
I'd go Morocco, but we're very different the way we play. But
I don't really think Cameroon's much of a threat still. And soon I'm going to have the upgrade to my radar, so I'll really be able to suss him out. Getting more SAM launchers down south in preparation for Mozambique strike fighters, and just reinforcing with some troops at some key positions.
It's interesting you say about going in with a stack of 10, coming out with about 7. I've lost one Sheridan tank, but equally I've taken a hit on my home cities. But that's different. I mean, that could have happened to any of us. Although I should have protected better against that southern flank. I said in the previous episodes that I was worried about those naval bases on their south, and I did move a boat further down, but I couldn't protect all my cities with one boat. So kind of half saw it coming, didn't really defend against it. Didn't expect it to happen actually, but something in me that wasn't sure.
I'll tell you what, like when you have your boats there, you said you could only get in a couple of hits, but like you can lock in combat with a transport ship, and as soon as that happens, your ship will just keep attacking until it dies. And a way that you can help that to happen is to switch your fire controls to aggressive. So that means even if you're hitting a city and a transport ship comes by, your ship will switch and attack that instead. And it just means you can catch out any enemies. But what I'm wondering is if somebody who you're not at war with tries to move a stack of troops onto your home city, like, would your boats defend it? At what point would they be going to war with you? That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, that's something we need to test, because when you click to move into enemy territory, it asks you will go to war. But I think you do go to war the moment you step foot on their territory, in which case... Yeah, you know the boats can just slip past you because you're not looking out for them. So that's a problem, definitely. We'll have a quick look at what Tim's doing, and then we'll probably move on with our Christmas, I think. So he's doing well. He's got the my boy, or our boy. He's got the victory sight, so he'll have probably put us on top. Score, yeah, we're top by a couple 100 points. Japan, Ireland, Norway still there, and then there's the China, Australia, New Zealand, third place, and then someone's called themselves the Cartel. Argentina and Brazil have teamed up like I predicted, and then we've got Poland has gone right down there. I mean, they're a strong player, and so are Norway, so much to worry about. But I think I might need to do what they're doing and just sort of keep chipping away at smaller nations. I don't know. It's a difficult one. I'm gonna have to have a think about my next move. But I think for now, Jonathan, that's the end of the episode. Any vital thoughts?
Yeah, I'm just gonna start thinking about taking this peninsula north of Transcaucasia, just to give us a bit of a foothold into Ukraine. Not sure what to do with this Russian land though, so lots of wars and potential enemies to consider.
Yeah, I think I'll leave. I mean, if you want to take the Russian land, great, but I just don't need the extra enemy that I'm never gonna, get rid of. And tactics-wise, it could be good to keep that Russian land, because it also would mean Norway can't get rid of someone they're at war with unless they take that land, because they'll crack through Serbia. There's not much left of Russia, but they'll have to come very near me, and they've still got a little ways to go, so could be good to keep that Russian land. But feel free to help me.
I think they would choose to take it. That's the problem. Just to get close to us. I think that Poland is surrounded by far too many enemies. He's going to be crushed from Ireland and Norway on both sides, and very soon we're going to be facing a front with quite a big coalition that's going to be closer to our home cities than we are to them, and that's not what we want.
No, and it's possible, and we'll probably need to group together as a coalition to attack them. We may even end up with a scenario where Poland joins with Norway and Ireland, because France aren't doing a lot, and they've already sacked off the Ukraine because Ukraine has pretty much collapsed. So big things coming, and alliances building. Let's take a look at Brazil and Argentina, the new threat across the river as well, because their next logical place is either North America or across the pond, using the Ascension Islands to come over to Africa. So things are getting real. But for now, it's goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Over and out.